Some leaders build companies, others build products. Steve Jobs built an identity. He didn't just ask what technology could do, he asked what it should feel like to exist alongside humans. His life was shaped by one quiet belief: that reality could be edited if you were willing to insist on it. This is not a story about success or failure. It's a study of control, a vision so precise it reshaped entire industries. To understand Steve Jobs, you have to understand how deeply he believed that the world should bend to clarity. Steve Jobs was adopted shortly after birth. From the beginning, identity was something chosen, not inherited. He grew up knowing he was selected, not accidental. That idea stayed with him. As a child, he showed impatience with authority. Rules felt optional. Standards felt negotiable, if you could justify a better one. He learned early that adults didn't always know best, and that if something felt wrong, you didn't adapt, you redesigned it. This planted a powerful seed. Trust your internal compass, even when it isolates you. Jobs didn't escape pressure by relaxing. He escaped by imagining alternatives: meditation, long walks, silence. These weren't hobbies, they were tools for clearing mental noise. He trained himself to see simplicity where others saw clutter, to strip ideas down until only the essential remained. This wasn't passive creativity, it was disciplined reduction. In his mind, complexity was a failure of thought, and clarity wasn't optional, it was a moral obligation. Steve Jobs didn't separate who he was from what he built. Apple products weren't tools, they were extensions of a worldview. Every curve, sound, and interface was a statement about taste, discipline, and restraint. This made his standards unusually personal. Criticism of the product felt like criticism of the self, but it also created coherence. There was no confusion about what Apple stood for. Jobs treated identity like architecture: structured, intentional, and uncompromising. Jobs was often described as controlling, but the control wasn't random. It came from a fear of dilution, of losing the original idea to compromise. He believed that too many voices blurred vision, so he narrowed decisions to a few trusted minds, often just his own. This approach created conflict, but it also created focus. In his system, control wasn't about power, it was about protecting meaning. Jobs practiced what he called thinking from first principles. He ignored precedent, ignored market research, ignored what people said they wanted. Instead, he asked, what would feel obvious if it already existed? This allowed him to leap ahead, but it also meant frequent misjudgments. His thinking wasn't predictive, it was declarative. He didn't guess the future, he announced it. Jobs didn't avoid risk. He engineered environments where pressure was constant. Deadlines were aggressive, feedback was blunt, comfort was absent. Many struggled under this intensity. Some left, others adapted. Jobs believed pressure revealed truth about people, ideas, and priorities. To him, stress wasn't a threat, it was a filter. Being fired from Apple could have ended his story. Instead, it clarified it. During exile, Jobs refined his thinking. He learned patience. He learned narrative. When he returned, Apple wasn't saved by innovation alone. It was saved by focus. He cut relentlessly, simplified brutally. That decision, to return not as a founder, but as a disciplined editor, defined his legacy. This intensity came at a price. Relationships strained. Emotional distance grew. Jobs often struggled with empathy when it conflicted with vision. The same focus that created beauty also created isolation. His life shows a difficult truth. Clarity can demand sacrifice. Not all of it visible. Not all of it reversible. Jobs' mindset is rare because it's uncomfortable. It rejects consensus, invites friction, requires long periods of uncertainty. Most people seek validation first. Jobs sought coherence. He accepted being misunderstood, as long as the idea stayed intact. This level of internal alignment demands resilience most never train. Steve Jobs' life isn't a blueprint. It's a mirror. It asks uncomfortable questions. What do you refuse to compromise on? Where do you dilute clarity to avoid tension? Discipline isn't severity. It's precision. Vision isn't imagination. It's commitment. You don't need to imitate the man, only to understand the mindset. In the end, Steve Jobs wasn't obsessed with technology. He was obsessed with meaning, with shaping experience, with reducing noise, with insisting that things could be better. If someone cared enough to insist, his legacy isn't just what he built. It's the reminder that clarity, once chosen, changes everything.